Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Well, the drivers of the Special Stage Street Stock Series are taking it old school as we head to CHICAGOLAND Speedway here in Illinois. It has been a very, very hectic weekend here at the headquarters of my personal humble abode. My name, Mac Nelson, of course. I will not be your lone voice in the booth tonight because making his second appearance inside of the Special Stage. First time, it was Pro 2 Trucks at Lanier, I believe, but now joining me for the Street Stock Monday series here this week is Special Stage's very own Zach M. Spacker. Zach, how you doing, man?
Doing good, Mac. Doing good. Really appreciate Race for Nexus and Rob Campbell and yourself having me up here again. It's going to be a lot of fun here tonight. Definitely looks like it feels like a throwback vibe being back here at Chicagoland. Haven't seen this track on the NASCAR schedule since 2019. Racing some street stocks and a little bit of an old school car there. So looking to have some fun and see who comes out on top tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one, ladies and gentlemen. If you are not aware of the Special Stage Street Stock Series, we are in week number 4. Unfortunately, I got the today track and next week's track flipped. So, flip that in your head. I apologize. This week, we're at Chicagoland. Next week, we're going all the way to Tsukuba. We're running the 2K circuit at that course, so that's going to be fun. If you're not in the know about Special Stage, we do twin 20-minute heats here. That's how they do every single one of their series. We're going to get you guys in and out of here in about an hour tonight. So you're going to see some of the best wheel-to-wheel action here on the iRacing official service. Let's go over your starting grid for heat race number 1. P1 is going to be Steven Thompson, with P2 being Adam Boyslard in that 06. Row number 2 is going to be the boss man, Matt Schlosser, and Daniel Ernst in P4. P5 is going to be Eric Jeffrey, with P6, Victor Aldrich. Row number 4 is going to be Josh Heege in that number 7. Corey Clark in P8. Row number 5 is going to be Gary Clark Jr. And rounding out our grid is going to be the 97 street stock of Alex Good. Now, Zach, you know these guys. You kind of know how they drive. What are we going to expect here from Chicagoland?
It's quite a wide racetrack, so I think these guys got plenty of room to race and race each other clean and hard like they usually do in Special Stage. So I expect race 1 to be pretty calm. Maybe some guys towards the back might get a little frustrated with their spot. They might want to try and make some moves forward, but we'll just have to see how the outside lane is able to keep up with the inside. With the horsepower in these cars, it's definitely going to be a bottom-dominant race, but we will see with the draft if that introduces that outside line to be able to maybe make a move and get clear to the front.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time here at Chicagoland. Personally, I love running the NASCAR trucks here. I think NASCAR trucks at Chicagoland is one of the best NASCAR combos you can get on the iRacing official service. I don't think I've raced it inside of a street stock, so it's going to be very interesting seeing how this, it's not a big track if we're talking about the big cars, but we are talking about a little old street stock here, so this is going to seem like a monster.
Yeah, definitely a big track for a street stock. You're going to be wide open the whole time. I know solo car, I did some test laps. We were maxing out about 145 miles an hour. So we'll see if, with the draft effect, if we're able to see maybe some speeds over 150. But yeah, pretty big track for this small car, horsepower-wise.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun race. Like I said, we'll get you guys in and out in about an hour. Racer Nexus drone cam sets up a beautiful shot as Steven Thompson will have the button. We are green here at Chicagoland Heat Race number 1. We got Steven Thompson out here in front in that Pony Express number 24. So we're going to see what exactly he can do. The 06 of Adam Boy Slord trying his best to get around the top sign. If you are a fan of the Special Stage Series, we got 4 series going on, I believe. Yes, I believe that's right. 4. We got GT4s on Sundays. They are taking a little bit of a break. They will be back next Sunday, February 1st. You got the street stocks you're watching now. If you're interested in a little bit of FIA Cross Car action, they've got that on Thursday nights. And then IndyCar is going to be your Friday night delight here. And I don't know about you, Zach, but personally, the Street Stock Series gives some of the best wheel-to-wheel racing in all of the Special Stage Series, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely with that horsepower level we've talked about a couple times now, you don't have a lot of opportunities to, have any kind of a track where you're going to be doing a lot of lifting. So when you're running wide open like this, it's all going to be, stuck together in a pack like we see already. I was real curious to see what happened on the start. It looked like Daniel Ernst maybe missed a shift. He started, I think, P4 and dropped all the way to the back, but not sure what happened there. He's working his way back up now, but he had a big gap there to P2.
And yeah, the German driver in that number 420 Pepe car, it's a little bit of a meme. He has a little bit of a meme livery, but hey, that's fine. We like the serious stuff. We like the meme stuff all the same. Drivers making their way, trying to finish their 3rd lap here. The boss man, the Interstellar SRV driver, that number 400 street stock of Matt Schlosser. He has gotten a lot of wins here. It will be a big deal for him to get a good finish here in both of these heats for the championship. A little reminder, guys, I apologize. iRacing live timing, the SDK file, they are having a little bit of an issue with championship standings and updating those and showing that graphic. So unfortunately, I cannot show you the championship graphic here tonight, folks. But just know Matt Schlosser has a pretty convincing championship lead. Last time I checked, I assume it's going to be a little bit of the same business. Matt Schlosser, the boss man, in a very good spot to win in most of the races. How is it like racing against someone that's not only in the front a lot, but is also the commissioner of the league?
Ooh, we can see a little bit of loose action, but a little bit of a bad push there right at the start-finish line. But yeah, race around Matt's actually really good. He's probably my favorite guy to have behind me. Matt's just a really clean, good, hard driver. He's not going to send any kind of crazy move on you or anything. He's just a good, hard-nosed racer. Does it the right way. So it's really, really a pleasure to drive around Matt.
Yeah, and I mean, that's very evident with how he drives on the track. It's going to be a 2x2. It's kind of breaking up towards the back, though. Number 8 of Gary Clark Jr. will go on board with him. He has got a little bit of a shaky car coming out of turn number 4, but he's got a lot of enemies in front. What can he do to try to get around them?
Man, Adam Boy Slaughter is really pushing Josh Heagy, and I think that might cause an accident here sooner or later.
Yeah, Josh Heagy in that number 7. He's getting pushed. He has now changed his flag on iRacing to the Irish flag. I have no idea if he is Irish, but one little thing I picked up, he did have the American flag in all the races that I've seen him in. So cool little flag change there. It's something the boomers of iRacing, like myself. I mean, I know I've only been in the game since 2019, but back in my day, you had a group and you were assigned to it. You could not change it. A lot of the people on the iRacing forums, they want the groups to come back, but I like the flags. I think it teaches a little bit too. You get to figure out what the flags look like if your flag and geography knowledge isn't that good. Gary Clark Jr. not looking too good on this back straight. He's losing ground to the cars in front. You can see Daniel Ernst kind of taking advantage of that. He's tucked down into that bottom line. And a lot of these drivers, Zach, they're not really realizing that taping yourself to that bottom line is going to be by far the best way around this circuit.
Without a doubt. That's why we see so much fighting for it back here. Man, it's just been crazy to watch Josh Hickey get sideways a couple times throughout this race, but he's done a good job of keeping the thing straight. Matt Schlosser also knows that the bottom line is the fastest way around, so he is keeping that car right where he needs to not get past and not give up any spots here.
Yeah, coming out of turn number 3, or coming into turn number 3, I apologize. These guys making it 3 wide. That is the number 210. That's Corey Clark up there. Eric Jeffrey now trying to jockey for position on Matt Schlosser. He's technically ahead. We'll see if he gets the credit as we roll through the lap. I believe he will. That is going to be a lap led for Eric Jeffrey. I believe he was also ahead as we came through last time. So the number 7 of Josh Hickey, the number 33 of Eric Jeffrey, our lone Canadian driver on the grid here tonight, and the number 400 of Matt Schlosser. Them 3 are going to have a battle, the 420 and the 7 behind them, but unfortunately, Corey Clark trying to make that bottom line work, or trying to make that top line work, I apologize, and it's just not really happening.
Yeah, I don't think we have enough horsepower to run that wall line that we see sometimes in the higher horsepowered stock cars. But man, Eric Jeffrey's really doing a great job of hanging on the outside of Matt Schlosser here. Looks like he's doing some side drafting. He's actually making contact here and there. So he's doing everything he can to try and pull this move off. But Matt's hanging tight from that bottom line right now.
Yeah, Matt Schlosser knows that the percentage of him actually being overtaken is pretty small as long as he doesn't make any mistakes and stays on this bottom line. He's going to make Eric Jeffrey earn it the hard way. And the problem is, I don't think he can get enough cooperation from the number 210 of Corey Clark to actually get a move done. Corey Clark seems to be going into business for himself. He's going in a very, very high line, and like all of the other laps, it's not really going to work out for him. Eric Jeffrey moving up to that top line. Going to try to put a switch back on Eric Jeffrey, and Eric Jeffrey's just made the mistake of the century. He has now put himself in a very disadvantageous position. As Corey Clark
I think it started out with Eric Jeffrey pinned Matt Schlosser down going into turn 1 there. It looked like Matt got tight, slid up the racetrack, and actually pushed Jeffrey up out of the groove. That's how he was able to get, up to that third line and have look like Clark get into the inside there.
Yeah, that is a very good point. That is probably what happened. We're getting a little wobbly here as these drivers, they're trying everything they can. It's just so hard to get around anyone. That's going to be the 33 and the 210 making contact again. And we've just got a single file line here, Zach, and it looks like it might not ever let up.
I don't know what the deal is with Jeffrey and Clark, but those two, I don't know if they have some prior beef or history together, but they do not seem to want to work together here at all.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Eric Jeffrey seeming, destined to die on the hill, that he can make something happen here up in the second lane, and I don't think it's going to do anything but net him bad results. And we'll see as we get a little bit of a squabble.
More contact.
Yeah, that's going to be the 210 and the 33, I believe, or maybe the 210 was running up into the 06 of Adam Boy Slard in that old school Hardee's car, which, might I add, Hardee's is pretty good. It's S tier. If you were to make a tier list of fast food, it would be S tier, in my opinion.
I think it's very underrated. Everybody talks about the big ones, McDonald's and some of the other names, but yeah, Hardee's is very underrated. I think it's a very good place.
Yeah, very, very good. And I apologize, gentlemen, if you don't mind, Zach, do a little explaining on what exactly goes into wanting to win a championship in the special stage.
Well, it depends on we have so many different disciplines now. They're all going to be a little different and unique in their own respects, but you just want to stay consistent with it. A lot of guys don't run the full schedule, so obviously if you run all the races, you're going to put yourself in a little bit of an advantage there going into the final race with some more points. But the way we pay points here, man, it's you get a lot of points for winning races, so you do have to put an emphasis not only on getting good results consistently, but you want to try and go out there and get some wins. You get 250 points for winning a race here, so the more wins you can get, you can actually offset maybe taking a week off in this series because taking a big points there with the win.
Oh, wow, yeah, that is incredible, and I apologize for the wrong timing tower information, gentlemen. I had it in minutes instead of laps. So 11 laps to go here in heat race number 1. I'm not entirely sure what we started with. We are 14 laps in. Drivers are completing their 15th lap right now. So we've got 11 laps to go. We're about 2/3 of the way through this race. And it's interesting that you brought up the point of 250 points for a win. I actually did not know that. I didn't know the scale that, or the point system that you guys were using. 250 points, that explains it. You can have a 500-point night if you manage to last to first that second heat race.
Absolutely, yeah. It's how Matt Schlosser wants it. It's his league, and I'm not the biggest fan of it at times because I've been on the losing end of that. I've run more consistently than some other guys, but hey, fast guys show up and they get the wins. They deserve the points. That's the system that we have. So that's what we got to work with.
Yeah, I mean it promotes wheel-to-wheel racing, I think, and it also promotes that nice aggression that you need in a short, stint like this. I mean, you're aiming for 20-minute or around that for heat races. You want to run 2 of them in a night. You want to bring as much racing as you can in under an hour. And I mean, Matt Schlosser with the special stage is doing a very good job. If you don't know, well, now you know. You can follow the link to the special stage Discord in the live description below this video. You can get in contact with Matt. You can join any of the 4 series you want. It's a very, very fun time, and you get to hear this beautiful race, or this beautiful voice, broadcast your races, as we have a lot of contact here between the 2 top guys. It's the number 400 of Matt Schlosser, the number 33 of Eric Jeffrey. Now Corey Clark again entering his name into the fold. He is going to be up on that 3rd lane trying to make something happen. And now that we're boiling down to it, Zach, 8 laps to go. These guys are boxing in, and they are getting tight.
I'd be surprised if we have all the cars make it to the end. It's getting tight out there. I really wonder if Eric Jeffrey had some help, if he could get past Schlosser, because he does really good on his own. Just doesn't seem like anybody wants to go with him and push him. And even Clark up there on the outside, he's making some ground up. Now we see they're going to be 4 wide here in a second.
Yeah, they are going to be 4 wide, it looks like. As these guys, the low output of horsepower means that these guys can be very, very comfortable on this racetrack, and that's exactly what you're seeing here. These guys are 2x3x2. You got some stragglers in the back, but for the most part, these guys are right next to each other. Josh Hickey doing a wonderful job pushing the 33 of Eric Jeffrey right there. If they can do that on the final lap, Eric Jeffrey might just get himself a win.
Yeah, I think Jeffrey's in a good spot. It's just like we said earlier, if somebody actually wants to push him and go with him, we don't see a lot of that happening right now, but there Hickey gives him a push. I think he does have a chance to get by on that outside. We'll see what happens. I think tire wear is starting to actually come in a little bit here. I ran about 20 laps solo here earlier myself just to kind of get a feel for the track with no draft, and I was actually down 89% on the right rear, so this is a loose setup. It is driving off the right rear, and I wonder with this draft, as much as these guys are moving around, if we're starting to get even looser here as the run goes on. So as we make contact and get aggressive, we'll see if anybody loses control of their car.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up, Zach, because you can tell in Matt Schlosser's street stock right there being taped to that bottom line, there's just a very, very minute amount of slip angle going into that car when he takes these corners. So the tires are just literally on the edge of their grip right now. You can see the back end is just very lightly sliding out, and that's how you want to be fast in these street stocks. I remember when I first joined the iRacing official service, the first thing I did was load into a street stock rookie race on Charlotte Oval. And that's exactly what it felt like every single time. It felt like I was in a constant slide in the corners. And man, when you can nail that and be fast, it is perfect.
Another interesting fact about the street stock, it's actually a bias ply tire these things run, I guess, to keep costs low for, since it's a more of a beginner series, for some lower budget race teams, but that gives you a lot less stability in the sidewalls. That's another reason this car drives the way that it does. Doesn't have quite the stability, and especially when you get up to speed.
Yeah, very, very good point. I actually did not know that about the street stock side. Thought they used normal, maybe, just racing slick tires, but
yeah, it's still racing slick, but most series nowadays, everything's going to a radial tire, except for dirt stuff. Dirt track racing is the only thing I know of right now. Still runs the bias ply tire, and then you see a lot in drag racing too. But as far as a pavement oval car, I don't know many other cars still running a bias ply tire, but that is what these cars run.
yeah, now Josh Heege in that number 7. He has kind of taken the spot of Corey Clark. I'm not sure Corey Clark's going to feel entirely happy about that. Still got the same 3 guys strapped down here to the bottom. That's Matt Schlosser, that's Adam Boyce-Lard, and that's the number 98 of Victor Aldrich. He is a special stage winner here, Victor Aldrich. Yes, I believe he took one a few weeks ago, actually, in the Street Stock Series, if I'm not mistaken. And we are getting
Schlosser lost the bottom.
bumpy. Schlosser did indeed lose the bottom. He's now forcing Eric Jeffrey to give him just a little bit of room on the bottom side of that track. Now Matt Schlosser is stuck in the middle as he's got Adam Boyce-Lard under him, Eric Jeffrey above him, and we are getting chippy. 2 laps to go. Next lap will be the white.
Wow, this is awesome racing. Nearly 4 wide for the lead here. Can't ask for much better. I know we have a small field tonight, but these guys are getting after it and putting on a show.
They are indeed getting after it. Coming to the white flag, Boyce-Lard is going to get a little squiggly. So is Matt Schlosser. Steven Thompson trying to insert his name into the picture. White flag. I think at one point we were 5 wide here at Chicagoland, heading into turns 1 and 2. So far, it is a drag race between Boyce-Lard and Schlosser coming down the back straight. Everyone's going to try to find the line, find their spot, find the strategy. Matt Schlosser has kind of emerged as the top guy here. It's going to be Matt Schlosser and the guy that pushed him almost the entire race, Adam Boyce-Lard. They're going to be fighting for the win. Here we go out of turn 4, coming across the line. It's close. It's going to be Boyce-Lard who grabs it.
Wow, that was awesome.
Adam Boyce-Lard, Matt Schlosser, Eric Jeffrey coming home in P3, Victor Aldrich, Steven Thompson, your pole sitter. Unfortunately, is going to finish P5, but that just means that's exactly where he's going to start for heat race number 2.
What a great finish there. Looks like Eric Jeffrey had a chance to push Matt Schlosser and maybe get him to the lead, but he chose to go up that 3rd lane and make his own run for it.
Yeah, that was a very, very fun opening race here. We're going to go to a 3-minute warm-up, guys. Get yourself a snack, get yourself a drink, use the bathroom if you need to. We'll be right back after these messages.
Can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on. Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force it off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it. They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom.
Richard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As
That's still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
No back into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh
and
my
to the
goodness.
line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. It's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Well, if that first race didn't impress you, I don't know what will. These guys of the Special Stage Street Stock Series, they made it look easy there in heat race number 1. We're back with heat race number 2. Before we get to our starting grid, just a few housekeeping things. Shout out to Track Cams for Gourmets. That's trackcams22.com for all of the car and track cameras you see across the entire Racer Nexus channel. Also want to give a big shout out to Apex Sim Racing. If you need anything sim racing related, that's wheels, that's rims, that's pedals, that's chassis, that's monitors, that's monitor mounts, visit Apex Sim Racing. Use code RacerNexus for 5% off. It means a lot to us, and you get a little bit of change back on your sim racing equipment. Pace car is off. We are starting heat race number 2, and that means we'll go over your starting grid. Inverted field. Gary Clark Jr., Daniel Ernst are going to be row number 1, row number 2, Alex Good, and Josh Heege. He needs a good result here in heat race number 2. Corey Clark, Stephen Thompson going to be row number 3. Row number 4 is going to be the 98 of Victor Aldrich. The Canadian number 33 of Eric Jeffrey. P9 is going to be Matt Schlosser with P10, Adam Boyslard. And Brandon Carl has now joined. Will not be taking the track, unfortunately, but he is here. He's watching. He is a special stage driver himself. Big shout out to Brandon Carl. We typically see him in, I believe it is the IndyCar series that I normally see him in. I cover 3 of these series a week, so it's hard to, when you're mixing
He's ran
drivers.
the GT4s as well.
Yeah, GT4s, that's a big series here in the special stage. iRacing official pace car is going to pull out of the way here in Chicagoland. Gary Clark Jr. in the purple and green. He's almost looking like Gravedigger. Out here, we are green for another 25 laps around Chicagoland.
I was curious to see how Daniel Ernst did on the outside there, because we've seen him have trouble in the initial start, race 1. It looks like he did have a bit of a hiccup, but everybody got away rolling all right here, so we're good in the outside line.
Yeah, they got away good here. We've got about a 2x2x2 all the way back. We've got a little bit of noise going on in the middle of the track. That's going to be Eric Jeffrey in that number 33. He's going to try it again. If it doesn't work the first time, maybe it will the second time.
No surprise to see Eric Jeffrey be on the offense already, up the middle of the racetrack, already up to the front almost. That's quite impressive by him.
Yeah, very, very good work on behalf of Eric Jeffrey. He's up 6 spots already. Started this race P8. He is sitting in P2. Whoa. And a little bit of...
What a save by Alex Good all the way down to the apron. Almost lost it. He's still rolling it. Fortunately, it looks like he's going to lose the draft here, but still did a great job saving the car.
Yeah, that was good, Eric Jeffrey. Unfortunately, I think him and Gary Clark kind of just moved into the same real estate, not exactly knowing the other was going to go there. Managed to make Eric Jeffrey step on the brake a little bit, lose some of that pace, and now that opens the door for the number 210 of Corey Clark. He is now in an advantageous position. I mean, him and Eric Jeffrey are just leaning on each other down into turn number 1. And it's looking like it might get
carbon
chippy.
copy of race 1. Those two guys just can't seem to stay off of each other towards the front battling like that.
Yeah, it's only the 3rd lap in. Drivers doing their 3rd lap now. These guys, there's no filter. It is just on as soon as the green flag drops. That's what makes the special stage series here on the Racer Nexus broadcast channel so dang entertaining.
bit of a squeeze there.
Yeah.
Victor Aldrich came down the track, didn't realize there was somebody who's inside, but we're still doing good. These guys are very aggressive for lap 4.
Yeah, these guys are doing their best to try to wheel these street stocks. Doing a good job of wheeling them as well. Victor Aldrich had a pretty considerable amount of slip on that street stock coming out of turn number 2. Stephen Thompson, the number 24 driver, has posted your fastest lap of the race with a 38.56. So he is the one to watch when it comes to pace right now.
Yeah, Corey Clark getting aggressive on the inside here. Eric Jeffrey running Victor Aldrich all the way up to the wall. I'm surprised these guys are as aggressive as they are early in the race here. I'd be looking to settle in here a little bit, trying to make it to the end.
And now
4 wide for the lead already.
Yeah, hopping on board with Corey Clark, the number 8 of Gary Clark Jr. He unfortunately just kind of seceded that position and gets turned by the number 8. That's going to be a big crash involving 4 cars. That's Eric Jeffrey. That's Corey Clark. I believe that's also Daniel Ernst. Yeah, he's a little slow in that 420. The number 8 of Gary Clark Jr. as well. We're going to go back and take a look at that. As unfortunately, the event did not like to get it in the spot where it actually happened. We'll have to rewind a little bit here.
There was a lot going on there for sure.
The 33 and 8, yeah, they're just going to get into each other, and then it's just a meeting of the minds. The 210 and the 33, it's almost cathartic. They could not stay away from each other in race number 1, and they're going to ultimately have their demise in race number 2 together as well.
These guys are still stuck with each other back towards the back there, Corey Clark and Eric Jeffrey. But just looked like Gary Clark and Eric Jeffrey were kind of coming together a little bit, just a little bit of a racing deal in the middle of the track. It happens sometimes. I don't really blame any of the drivers there. One to come down, one to come up, and work out.
Yeah, and Physics State can't have 2 street stocks in the same place at the same time. So it's going to be a very big lead here for your top 3. It's Victor Aldrich, Stephen Thompson, and Matt Schlosser. Unfortunately, Adam Boyslard in that 06 is about 5.8 tenths back from Matt Schlosser, so a little over half a second, and it's going to be a very big pain in the butt to get that time back.
We got Josh Heagy's got a little bit of a blinky car here situation they're telling about on the racetrack. Listen to the driver's chat right now.
Yeah, Josh Heagy unfortunately has had a little bit of an issue for most of the night. Big snowstorm in the Mid-South, Midwest, and Northeast, so if that has affected you, hope everything is fine now. I hope you are finding, safe and comfortable reside in your city, state, wherever you may be. Hope everything is going good. And these drivers, I'm sure, are all good because they've loaded into the iRacing official service. They've came to race a street stock on a Monday night.
It was a respectable move there from Josh Heagy. I think they let him know about his connection issues, and it seems like he kind of backed off the battle for the lead. Didn't want to cause any issues with that. So it was a good move by him.
Yep. Fair and fun. That's what the special stage preaches, and all of these drivers do a pretty good job of being stand-up guys in their own right. Matt Schlosser looking like he might have been working with Adam Boyslard there a little bit. Matt Schlosser willingly took that third line when Adam Boyslard was back on his own, almost just letting Boyslard kind of play catch-up, and now he is right back in the fold.
Be interesting to see if Matt had some tire wear issues in race 1, because we've seen race 1, he was just glued to the bottom, as a leader, but now he's really moving around and really running some bigger arcs. So not sure what his plan is here, but we're seeing him move around quite a bit, unlike he did in race 1.
Yeah, race number 1 did see the boss man, Matt Schlosser, kind of just keep it taped down to that white line. Like you said, he was dipping down here to go through the start-finish, but yeah, completely taking a new approach to this race, and I'm not entirely sure why, because he was doing very, very well in heat race number 1, so you'd think he'd stick to the same thing, but hey, never let them know your next move, I guess. Matt Schlosser is being a little rogue. He's, not doing things exactly how the grid thinks he might, and that might pop out to his advantage.
Yeah, we'll just see how it plays out here. He's now he's moving to the middle, so Not sure what Matt's game is. Hopefully we can talk to him after race and see what he was thinking.
Yep. Very, very nice. I'm sure we'll be seeing him in an interview afterwards if, all things do end up going well. Matt Schlosser now down to the inside. He's going to slot in behind Josh Higgy. What a very, very proactive move from our commissioner.
Little side note there, Mac. I was actually listening to some more driver chat. Stephen Thompson was talking about overheating in the car, so we'll keep an eye on that. He's dropped to the back now. Not sure how that would happen in the street stock here. Didn't think that'd be an issue tonight, but maybe these guys, when they get tucked up real close, they're worrying about water temps.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think overheating would be a thing either, but I mean, you got to think these guys are flat in it the entire time, so I guess it does kind of make sense. Like you said, if you get tucked up next to a car, there's really nowhere for the air that's escaping to go, and maybe get a little overheating. Temperature is right beside you. You do have cars all around you that are burning at the same temperature you are, so it's going to be warm on that racetrack.
It's just amazing. You could be doing 150 miles an hour, but if you're that close to the guy in front of you, you're getting absolutely no airflow to your radiator, so quite impressive, but that's how close these guys are racing out there.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. Victor Aldrich in the number 98 coming down. He is starting lap number 14. We're just a little over halfway through this heat race. Number 2, Matt Schlosser, now trying to make a move on top of Adam Boyslard. He goes to the high side. He's got a very good run. He's also got Josh Higgy behind him, who we know will push somebody if need be, but with his connection issue, will he choose to still do that? We've only got 6 cars here in this little, lead pack situation. So if you were out there, Zach, how would you handle this situation if you were, say, Stephen Thompson at the back of this?
I think with a 6-car pack, I think I'm fine being at the back for right now. I didn't look at our lap count lately, but yeah, we've seen how spread out it got at the finish there. If you're not in P1 right now, I think I'm fine hanging out the back and just kind of planning your moves, seeing who does what and who's good where, and just kind of planning from the back. I don't think you have any kind of a rush to be up front right now.
Yeah, although not, a big track like Daytona or Talladega or, Nashville Speedway or the new Atlanta, but being in a low-power car like this, a track like Chicagoland almost is like a super speedway. In, the idea that you're pinned all the time, you don't really have to put on the brakes. And I feel like the situation with being in the back on the, the last 2 laps, that is actually more, has its benefits more than maybe even being in the lead.
Yeah, we see a lot of big wrecks happen at the end of a super speedway style race, which, as you mentioned, for these cars, this is essentially a super speedway race. These guys are running wide open, and we're all tight together, and the draft's really what's pulling these cars along right now. So, but we did see him have a good, clean finish to the end of race 1. So, didn't see that big wreck, but it's always possible when these guys get spread out and going for a win.
Yeah, and Victor Aldrich is a guy who I've said in the past, in my past broadcasts, he's a very good defensive driver. I've seen him in a lot of the series here in Special Stage, and, they always say it. I personally, growing up, I played a lot of Counter-Strike. I played a lot of Call of Duty. I competed in those games, and, I know that competitive environment. And in those games, you'd come up against somebody who you're not entirely better than, and so there was always a saying, you call them a hard kill. I feel like in the iRacing official service, Victor Aldrich is a very hard overtake. He's not going to be your highest I-rating driver. He's not going to be your best driver on any given grid. But what he does do is he defends his position extremely well. We see it in the GT4s. We see it in the street stocks week after week. This guy has his car in the right spot at all times. He makes you second guess your decisions. He makes you take that split second to think. And in racing, in motorsports, that's all you need. So Victor Aldrich being in the lead right now, I'm not going to lock it in. I'm a commentator. I can't show any bias. But I would not be surprised if Victor Aldrich holds on to this lead and wins this race.
Yeah, I'll show a little bit of bias. Victor's been around a lot. I've been on track with him. I never had any issues with him. I don't remember him ever getting a race win, at least not when I was there. So apologize, Victor, if you have gotten a win recently. But it'd be a popular win if Victor could hold on to this one, I would say.
Yeah, I'm almost positive he did. One of the street stock races, I thought he did earlier this season. I could be wrong. If not, he's definitely gotten a podium. Pretty sure he has gotten a podium here in the street stock series. He might not have won a race. I might have been a little quick, jumped the gun on that. But anyway, Victor Aldrich, like I said, very good defensive driver. He's a very hard overtake on any racetrack with any car.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, all these guys that are running in our top 6 right now, they're all good guys. I've shared a track with all of them. Adam Boyd's-Lard, he's a little newer to the series. Don't have a lot of experience with him, but Alex Good, he was around back when I started racing special stage and the pro trucks. He's a good, solid driver, clean driver. Good to race with him, and just really good to see all these guys up in the top right now having a chance to go after it.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, guys, if you have any interest on joining any of the special stage series, you can find their information in the link below. That car right there that you just saw get a little bit squiggly coming out of turn number 4, the 400 match losser. He is the admin. He is the commish. And he'll get you in, and he is a fair guy. He's a very nice guy. And honestly, you know, the grids could be, you know, a little fuller. I don't know if that's a word, a little more full. So if you guys do have any interest in joining, please check it out. These guys are awesome. They're fun to drive with. All their series are broadcasted by Racer Nexus, so you know you're getting the best broadcast in the land when you go through us. And it's just a fun time, man. Special stage, it just seems like a vibe. It's a very fun community to be a part of.
Yeah, it's very refreshing when you can go from racing, you know, dirt road with the Pro 2 trucks, and then you can come over here to run street stocks on a place like Chicagoland. You can go race GT4 cars at Watkins Glen, and you're for the most part, you're racing the same guys, and you kind of know their habits and tendencies, and you know they're good guys to race with, and you can actually have a good, clean battle. It's very refreshing across all these disciplines to have most of the same competition that you're driving against every week. So it's a great group of guys. Love racing with them.
Yeah, they are very, very good guys. They're good racers as well. We're coming down to 3 laps to go once we cross the start-finish line. Seems like it's going to be a 4-car battle for now. Alex Good in the number 97. He's lurking, but he needs to start getting a little bit closer if he wants to contend for this lead. Victor Aldrich, Adam Boyd's-Lard, Steven Thompson, Matt Schlosser, as Victor Aldrich is going to get a little bit too much of draft, a little bit too much of a love tap from the boss man. Coming out of that corner, Matt Schlosser is going to succeed the position, though. Let Victor Aldrich get back in his groove. That's just no boss man things. That's fair commish.
Yeah, no surprise there to see Matt do that. That's just how he races. He got him a little loose there. A little too much of an aggressive push on the exit, so he gave the spot right back. And I hate to say it, but I think Victor is in the best spot because having Matt behind him like that, Matt's going to stick with him. Unless we see Victor slip off the bottom or make a mistake, you know, Matt might take his spot, but Matt's not a very aggressive driver. I can see him just pushing Victor all the way around to the finish, and it's going to be hard for Steven Thompson and Adam Boyd's-Lard to make any kind of ground on him. But right now they're even, so we'll see.
Yeah, they are very even. It is a very tight 2x2 box here. Adam Boyd's-Lard going to go up to the top just a little bit, shooting over just a few feet. White flag in the air. We are official. This is the last lap of the night. Heat race number 2. Victor Aldrich has been leading for a very large portion of this race. He's got Adam Boyd's-Lard on the top side, but the supporting cast might be the telling story here. Behind the 98 is the boss man, the commissioner, Matt Schlosser, the admin of the league in the top lane. Helping out the 06 of Adam Boyd's-Lard. That's going to be the 2-4 of Steven Thompson. Can Steven Thompson summon the powers of another 24? Maybe Kobe Bryant. Clutch it up. Get it done. Boyd's-Lard is going to be a little bit ahead of Victor Aldrich. Coming to the line.
He got it.
Oh, it's even. It's going to be Adam Boyd's-Lard in the 06. It's going to be 11 hundredths that separate him from Victor Aldrich. Adam Boyd's-Lard with the heist of the century here at Chicagoland for your heat race number 2.
Wow, that was a great finish there. It looks like Steven Thompson just got a little bit wider, and he was able to come back down and give the bigger run to Boyd's-Lard there in the outside line. Maybe after Matt and Victor got a little loose, he might have got a little soft pushing Victor there coming out of the corner, but that was an awesome finish regardless.
Yeah, that was a very, Very cool finish. I am super duper stoked to see that. I see him come across the
Can't ask for a better
line.
one. That's great.
It's so close, and it's even close between P3 and P4. Matt Schlosser, unfortunately, with the bottom side, or the short side of the stick, I should say, he is going to finish P4 after being in such a good position there. Wow, so Adam Boy Slard is going to take it to victory lane here in heat race number 2. Is there anything kind of crazy, anything that you didn't expect to happen that did happen, or was it all pretty vanilla?
That was a great finish.
Yeah, that was very, very cool. And we'll bring, for our first interview of the night, we'll bring heat race number 2 winner, the 06 driver, Adam Boy Slard. Adam, you got a copy?
Yep, I got you loud and clear.
And that was a crazy finish there at the end. Walk me through it. What were you thinking?
Oh God, my knuckles are still white. The second race there, I mean, I was just trying to make a move on the outside. I think it was like 10 laps before, and I just couldn't get it to stick. So my goal then was just to keep Victor pinned down on the bottom so he couldn't get any momentum. And I wasn't sure if it was going to work. I was beating butt to the line like barely every single corner, and I thought I was going to lose it there. And then Steven gave me a nice little bump at the end that I think helped me out quite a bit. So kudos to him.
Yeah, well, very, very fun. And it looked like it was a very fun race. But, you know, while I've got you here in Chicago, next week, you're flying way across the country, or across the globe. Sorry, the planet is what I wanted to say, not country. But you're going to Tsukuba. You're racing the 2K version of that circuit. It's going to be the full circuit. What do you think about that? How do you think a street stock's going to handle around there?
I think it's going to be really fun. I love that track. I can't say I've ever run it in a street stock, but I think it's going to be a blast. I think got a really good combination of tight hairpins, and you got the sweeper in the last corner there. I think it's going to be a good show.
Well, Adam, we're going to let you celebrate. We're going to let you get out of here. But before we do, is there anybody you want to thank or shout out for the performance here tonight?
Yep. Shout out everyone watching. Shout out to you for broadcasting. Shout out to the whole crew who raced tonight. It was an absolute blast. Matt for running the show. Couple shout outs as well to those who got hit by the storm. Dug out 18 inches of snow this morning. So to everyone who had to do that, drink for you. And then lastly, go Pats, Super Bowl, baby.
Yeah, well, Drake May has got the world at his, as well as you've got the virtual world at your fingertips here with a win at Chicagoland. I'm going to let you celebrate, Adam. Hope you have a fantastic night. Hope to see you back soon.
Thanks. You too. Take care.
Great job, Adam.
Well, Zach, I believe that's going to be our only interview of the night. It seems like nobody else is really coming
that's
into the
unfortunate.
waiting room. So, you know, what'd you think?
Well, that was I'm really surprised I mean, these guys are, I should have known better. They race hard, but they get it to the finish line for the most part. I mean, we saw a little incident there earlier in the race that was just really unfortunate. It looked like it was almost 4 wide that time. We had 2 cars just trying to come together at the same spot, and just didn't work out. But both finishes were close but clean, and nobody was getting, knocked into the wall and just, had their chances ruined. Everybody had a chance to get to the finish there. So really surprised. I wasn't sure what to expect here with Chicagoland and street stocks. Almost thought, I hate to say it was going to be a little bit boring at times, but didn't really matter. We always had a close fight up front throughout the entire race. So really looking forward to the next one, honestly. I mean, next week we're going to be at a road course. So that'll be quite a bit different, but these cars are, they put on a pretty good show here today.
Yeah, I agree completely. And I also agree with your take of, I thought it was going to be a little guided, and it was at times, but they still figured out ways to race wheel to wheel, even here at Chicagoland in a low power car. That's going to do it here for us. Mac Nelson, Zach Amspacher up in the booth. It's been a very, very wonderful time spending it with you guys here tonight. This has been a special stage broadcast, part of the Racer Nexus network. You can find everything needed for the special stage if you want to join one of their series by clicking the link down in the description below. If you would like your league broadcasted, contact my boss, my commish, Mr. Rob Campbell. Contact him through the link in the description as well. We can get you set up for your league to be broadcasted. Once again, shout out to Track Cams for Gourmets. That's trackcams22.com. All the car and track cameras you see in our broadcast. Shout out Apex Sim Racing. Use code RacerNexus for 5% off any sim racing accessory that you want to pick up. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. See you in the next one.